Hi guys, this is Orsi and this is going to be my winter deck collection video. I mean, these are the decks that I plan on working for at least 3 months, but maybe more, because I'm kind of switching out from the 3 month is a season system, because that's just not true, into what actually is happening outside, which would still be autumn. At least currently, today it feels like autumn, which is kind of weird. But yeah, so if I recall, lately winter at least stays here until March, which kind of sucks. But it's more time for me to play with these decks, and I have the biggest selection for winter anyway. I still have decks coming in. One of them is supposed to be my Christmas gift, but it's been delayed. The release is gonna be released at the beginning of December, and I'm not sure that shipping and whatnot will be able to handle everything, and I'm gonna get it in time, which kind of sucks because I was so excited for that deck to be my Christmas time deck. It's the Shadowland Tarot, because it has that wonderful fairy tale book kind of feeling, for me at least. So I was really looking forward to spending quiet nights and just afternoons playing with that deck. But I guess I won't. But I mean, of course I could still do that if the shipping gods decide to actually look at what's going on in Hungary, but who knows. So, but I still have a lot of other decks. I have a couple of them that are staying from the Halloween selection, one of them being the Ceccoli Oracle. I didn't use it for Halloween, but it kind of feels like the perfect shadow part for a reading, because this is such a dark deck. I mean, not the illustration itself, but it can be very good for shadow readings, which I kind of feel like we're putting too much emphasis on the word shadow reading, because I don't know how about you guys, but when I do a reading for myself, it's gonna be shadow reading. It's gonna be about something that it's not easy to handle, because if it would be easy to handle, I wouldn't need to pull cards to face it. So it's just, yeah, tarot reading. But yeah, that's staying. The other one is the Supernatural Tarot, which I'm actually excited now. Angry but excited, because I checked a few cards in the guidebook and I realized that the description is really cool and it's much more well thought out than I expected. But some of the illustrations are really just off-putting, like 9 of Pentacles with really 9 pentacles, and with the pentacles it happens a lot. There's of course I'm not gonna find any other ones right now, but I think that the 3 of Pentacles is just 2 pentagrams, and it's a very pixelish version even. And the 6 of Cups is just 6 cups. So some of the minors are really not well illustrated, and I just don't get it why. Because look at that, this is the 8 of Cups with a character that you can look up. 5 of Cups also. You can look them up in the guidebook and get the meaning why they were chosen. So please do a second edition where you actually illustrate all the cards, because this could be a so well put together deck, but right now it's just not complete. And I know I'm entitled, but I'm entitled in this sense. I'm mad because it's not done better. Because I don't think there's gonna be another Supernatural tarot deck, and it sucks that the one that we have could have been so good, but instead it's just falls short. Whatever. Another one, not surprisingly, this is the box that I made. I originally wanted to write Zombie Oracle only, but I think just, the bloody handprints and whatnot, where the zombies, try to get into the box is enough. It's my own deck, so nobody should be surprised. I still think that this can be used outside of the season, because I think I made it, well-rounded enough. And I also want to make 2 other decks, which I didn't know I wanted to make, but I want to make one related to vampires and one related to ghosts. I just don't know which one to first. I'm more leaning into the vampire theme at the moment, but we'll see. And the last one that stays out from previously, and I don't have the box with me, but you know, it's a big one, is the Shadowland Tarot. I haven't really used it for Halloween, but that's because the Darkwood was my main deck for that month. But I really love this, and I always look at this, always. I'm acting like I'm using this deck for 20 million years. But it was my experience last year as well, that because it has so many colors, I kind of feel like when, you know, I'm getting depressed about the lack of sun, the cold. It's just, I'm not handling winter so well these days, because I always feel I'm just cold and, you know, I'm losing hope in everything. Even though I used to love winter, but back then winter meant snow as well, and that's just not really the case anymore. But this deck has so many good colors that, you know, when I feel like I just need something that would cheer me up, I would use this deck as well. And it's not creepy or whatever. To me, I grew up reading stories about the characters like that, so for me these decks are not like that. Not creepy, I mean. The next one is the Deviant Moon. Why am I showing you the back? Just to confuse you for a second. This was out it's gonna be last winter as well. It's one of the best deck for the season, and it reads so well, but because it's in a crappy tag box, so hashtag tag box rage, I keep it in a bag. Oh no, I don't. It's not that deck. Oh my god. This is awkward. Where is my deck? Panic mode on. Whoops. And that's why I don't keep my decks in bags. Sorry about that, and I'm not gonna edit this out because I'm lazy. But yeah, I mean, if you're watching this, comment down below. When was the last time that you pulled out a deck completely missing that it wasn't what you were planning? So, because I don't know why I missed that, because this is the bag that I originally made for this deck. And I know that I confused myself because I moved things around and I only kept a few bags. But I miss this deck so much. And I love the original. I know a lot of people really like the paradoxical versions, but I love the colors. I mean, these blues. Oh god, it's so beautiful. And the purples and oh, I just can't wait for, oh, look at that. Can't wait for this to be on my table again. I just love it. It's one of my all-time favorite decks, I think. So yeah, I can't wait for the Oracle, to be honest. I'm not into Oracle readings these days. I'm gonna say currently, because I'm kind of hoping that once I start posting pick a card readings on my second channel, I'm gonna get back into using them, because it's not like I don't like them anymore. It's just that for now it's easier, I guess, or I don't even know what, to use only tarot. But with bigger spreads, Oracle cards can be, you know, wonderful. Okay, so let's put this over there. And I'm trying to, you know, pull out decks that I used last year as well. The Queen of the Moon Oracle was one of the oracles that I used with the Deviant Moon. I posted a 6 months in with this already, so if you want to know what was my long-term experience with the deck, you can check that one out. I think these two work really well together. It's a good keyword-based deck, so you don't necessarily have to use you know, the guidebook. Unfortunately, I kind of forget. I always forget what the moon phases mean, and even though I made notes, I just can't remember. So that's kind of still something I need to learn. But yeah, Queen of the Moon Oracle, which was illustrated by a Hungarian person, King Gabrichki, which I forgot to say in my original walkthrough, and I feel so bad. But yeah, So I'm partial to, because you know there's a Hungarian person, even though they don't live in Hungary, which is not surprising anymore. It's still, you know, I claim her. I claim good people. Another deck that's going to get one last chance is the Dark Mirror Oracle, because I'm not saying I was really excited for this deck back then when I got it. I got it specifically for shadow reading, because, you know, I edged it. I was, you know, like, oh, cool, wow, wow. And I love the artwork. But in my experience with these cards in readings, and I can't remember currently if I posted a Dark Mirror 6 months, but I have a playlist with all the 6 months in videos where I talk about long-term experience with decks. So check it out if I already posted. If not, then I was planning on, but I think I did. But the gist is that and you know, the deck is not lying. It doesn't say it's multi-purpose or you can use it all the time. It's focused on grief and stages of grief. And I had a problem with cards when I pulled them and the meaning didn't make sense in that reading, because it was so specific that I couldn't just go on you know, with something else. I mean, there's a lot of really good, you know, cards that doesn't require you to use it in that sense, but that puts me off, and you know, I don't reach for it anymore. So I'm gonna give it one last chance, but then I will put it aside. And if I don't feel like using it, and I don't think I will, to be honest, in the future, in the, you know, upcoming few months, then I'm gonna rehome it. I don't think I'm gonna sell them. I'm just gonna, you know, ask people around me, especially if they want it, because it's a mass market deck. Shipping would cost more, and so what's the point? But another one that I'm keeping for sure is the Sacred Destiny Oracle. This was my favorite Oracle card last season. Look at it, how beautiful! And the artwork is not necessarily my favorite. I don't necessarily love these type of collages. You can see what type of collages I like, because I have a deck to show you. Yeah, I'm not gonna shut up about it, because I'm proud of myself for that. So let me have this. But you see, something like this power, absolutely. This I love. Whoops, and that was the decoration. And I didn't remove the white borders either, because I kind of feel like this deck needs it. The only problem is that some of the time I'm called to, or you know, I feel like I have to check the guidebook, which I don't really like with Oracle decks. There are some keywords, not a lot, so it's not like, of course, I'm not even gonna find one, because you know, it's just a few of them that are like, what do you mean by that? Like the crystal one that I saw. Okay, where's crystal? I think it's called Wonder, and there's a crystal with the galaxy and stuff like that. So you can get into things. One of my favorite ones, Simplicity. Even if it's upside down, it's just beautiful. So yeah, this is going to be out for sure, and I can already see myself wanting to use it, because so I'm taking it as a good sign for oracles. Another one is the StarDragons. It was out for, I think, summer, but you know, it's a dragon deck, so what do you want me to do? Not use it? Do you know me? So yeah, it's actually that sort of dragon that I mostly like. It's not perfect as in illustration style. Some of them are not really dragons for me, but most of them have the face, the shape, how I identify dragons. Like this wouldn't be a dragon for me, to be honest. That's something else. And yeah, unicorn. It's a unicorn and dragon. I'm not saying it's not cool, but it's not a dragon. So yeah, I have a few problems like that. But I'm picky. I'm very, very picky about dragons. So yeah. But it's still dragons, and most of them are that kind of dragons that I like. So they are staying for sure. Those are new. Okay. This one is the Shadowscapes, right? Shadowscapes, yeah. Because I have the Hungarian version, which I trimmed. So I don't have the titles because they were in Hungarian and they kind of bothered me. I edged it. I really like this purple. It just matches everything so perfectly. And the size is perfect. And the artwork works really nicely with trimmed. And I have a feeling the Czech version is still bigger. So I might, you know, at some point get one. Because unfortunately the Hungarian one is out of print currently. I don't know why, because I know a lot of people would love to get, even, you know, Hungarians mentioned that they would love to get a copy of it. But I asked the whatever it's called, distribution company or whatever, and they said that they have only one copy for future releases, for the purpose of future releases. So that kind of sucks, because I was, you know, thinking about getting a few and helping other people who want a bigger version of the artwork to be able to get it, but that unfortunately didn't happen. But look at that, so many colors. I love these colors, and it still has an overall purple feel, which I connect to winter. And I can't wait for use it again, because I kinda haven't used it since last winter. Not surprising, I have a lot of new decks. One of them, okay, I still have one deck. It's just the bigger boxed version, so it's the Heaven and Earth Tarot, which I can't even, you know, put in the screen. I was very excited for the Vikings deck that came out recently from the same artist, but I checked it, and to me that was too I don't know, beautiful. They were similar type of people in that deck, but for this one, you know, an original Rider-Waite-Smith clone deck, I think it suits this concept very well. But for me, for a rune-based Viking theme deck, that was just too soft, if I can say that. You know, there was no real, I didn't feel like there was enough raw power in the deck when I watched the walkthrough. So for now, that's off my wish list. I edged it in a green, grayish, brownish color, which matches the back perfectly. It read so well, and I enjoyed the classic element of the deck, and I just think it looks beautiful, and it feels like these paintings should be on the wall of a museum. So yeah, it's gonna be one that I'm quite happy to pull out again. Obviously, I know that, you know, I have a lot of decks, so I'm quite curious which one I'm gonna use a lot or more than I expected, because especially if finally the Smoke, Ash and Amber arrives, that's gonna be on my table all the time. So, but you know, besides that, I wonder if it's gonna be the Deviant Moon again, or it's gonna be something else. Speaking of new decks, oh, I have to tape this back. I got this from Jen, the Revival Art Tarot. So another set of, you know, museum cards on my table. I kind of feel like painting style decks belong to winter. I can't explain it. I just have that feeling. Yeah, so I'm not knowledgeable about paintings, unfortunately. I don't think I ever had a teacher, an art teacher, where I actually would have learned a lot about art. We learned, you know, the usual art styles and periods and some famous painters and their paintings, but not enough. I think we should learn much more about these things in school, because if you learn about art, you're just gonna be a more open-minded, curious, and better person, I think. But yeah, just my opinion, which I know a lot of you share, because I think It's kind of along the lines of Vivre, you know, doing tarot. Where should I put this one? Okay, yeah, I don't have a lot of space on my table currently. Another one, it was also a gift from Rachel. It's the Ethernal Vision. This was a deck that I was kind of interested in, and I wasn't, and I didn't know what to do, and then I got the chance to, you know, try it out. So I'm quite curious, because it's not necessarily, Art Nouveau is not necessarily my favorite, but I know how beautiful this deck can look on the table in readings, but I have no idea how it will read for me. So yeah, I'm quite curious to see. Because I don't know, you know, how much you can get from the images besides the basic meanings. But I love the Queen of Cups with the green hair. So yeah, I'm curious about this one as well. This is here for the pretty. Okay, another one that I'm quite excited because at least until I get the Cirque Tarot, this has the children's book Christmas feel. You know, I love Paulina Cassidy's artwork. I love these intricate, detailed, tiny cards. I want to trim it as well. I just didn't have time. The cardstock is quite bad. I mean, I don't think it's... it kind of feels like it's not really what US Games usually does, but I mean, it's a deck from them, so maybe it's just I have a problem with that. But yeah, I'm quite excited to use it because I haven't done any readings with it yet. But there's just so much thing going on in each card that I have a feeling that I will be pulled to look at, you know, different parts of the cards in different readings, which I really like. I love when cards have illustrations like that you can pick up on something else entirely when you're doing a reading. For, you know, when you're doing multiple readings. So yeah, and like I said, until the Cirque du Tarot arrives, this is gonna be my Christmas deck. Okay. Okay, what's left? Another one that I'm very excited is the Raven's Prophecy Tarot in a big box with a big book, which I haven't read yet. I already trimmed the deck because I started edging it, and because I didn't want to trim it originally. So I started edging it to orange, but then I laid out the cards on my table and all I saw was the orange borders. So I was like, I can't do a reading when all I see is the borders. But now all I see are the artwork. So look at that. And yeah, the backs are, you know, whatever. But to be honest, it's not bothering me that much, so because they more or less look the same. I would be more annoyed, I think, if, you know, the cards would look more different. So yeah, and the size right now is just perfect. I have small hands, so this is amazing. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to use this deck because of the books. Okay, another one, but I have to put this away. And you can probably hear wood falling down because people are working here today. So I'm sorry, but I couldn't wait with this video. Okay, another one, which is a big boxed deck, is the Steampunk Tarot, which was specifically picked for this season, and because I like steampunk stuff, the aesthetic of it at least. But I'm not entirely sure about the deck, so I haven't trimmed it, I haven't edged it, I didn't do anything. If I'm gonna keep it, I'm going to do that. But there were some cards that I didn't feel like connecting when I was doing the initial walkthrough. So yeah, I can't remember which one right now, but I know that there were quite a few that made me like, are you sure? So yeah, I'm gonna give this one a chance. We'll see what's gonna happen, but I'm not gonna trim it, edge it, anything, because if I, you know, don't keep it, it's gonna be easier to pass it along if it's in its original state. Which is kind of annoying because I like working with my decks the way that I would work with them normally, you know, edged, trimmed, whatever. But it's smarter, I guess, I think. Okay, and only a few of them left. One of them is the white Numen. I love the box. Which I haven't used at all, and I got intimidated by it, I'm not gonna lie, when I did the walkthrough, because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna, you know, get a lot out of it, because the artwork is different in some of the cards, a lot of cards, and there's not enough explanation for it in the guidebook, which kind of sucks. I still haven't checked if there's, you know, an online guidebook or you can buy something separately. I want to check that. I like how the minors are color coordinated, so you can pick up immediately when, you know, there's a card on the table. Give me another one, like, whoops, you know, like Pentacles and Cups, and here's Wands. So, you know, you can immediately see which minors they belong to. I like it, and I like that it's not done in a very in-your-face way, like not the borders are colored, just the overall theme or color theme for the card is in that color, which I appreciate. I think that's a very cool idea, you know, until it aligns with how I read the minors, obviously. But yeah, there are some cards that I wasn't, you know, entirely sure, and there are some cards that I didn't like. I mean, the aces are too similar. Here's an Ace of Pentacles. Where's another ace? I don't know how much I actually shuffled already. I'm gonna find one. See, Ace of Cups. It's just pretty much hands trying to grab the element of the suit, and I'm kind of feeling like that's not enough, because for the aces they are different, you know, aspects of an opportunity, and I don't see them represented in the cards. I mean, I know what and how I read these cards, but I still like when the artwork reflects that, especially if I read for other people. It's easier to explain, and it's easier to pull something into the reading when there's something on the card. And only two of them are left. One of them is the Tarot of Abyss, or of the Abyss, which I started coloring already, and I haven't done any coloring video yet, so I have to leave this out so I can remember to do that. A few of the cards are already colored. These were the pretty much test, because I wanted to see if I can do them, or if I just gonna fuck this whole thing up and, you know, buy a new deck and hide this one forever and not speak again about it. But I kind of like how they turned out. And originally I wanted to color everything. I mean, I colored more on this one than on, for example, on this one. There was a color on her dress, but I removed that because it didn't suit the card. But highlighting things on the card, I think I really like this one, for example. For me, it just adds to, you know, the card. So yeah, I'm gonna color everything in this deck, and then I'm gonna use it. And if I, you know, I might just buy a second copy at some point when I'm done with every new deck that I want. So give me a few years, just for the sake of having the black and white as well, because it's not like I don't like the black and white, but I so desperately wanted the other deck by Anna, which is not, you know, available easily anymore. and I kind of got this colored version instead of that. And the next and last one is the Neon Moon Tarot. This was also a gift, and this is the pocket edition, which has a nice size. It's not too small. I still have to edge it because it has to be black or pink. Ooh, should I do pink? I mean, black would be the obvious choice, but pink maybe it's more. I'm not using multiple colors, but pink. Yeah, not purple, pink. Leave a comment down below. Which one do you think it suits better, pink or purple? But yeah, this is going to be one of the sci-fi main decks for this season. I also want to use this one with the Shadow Word, I would say, story cards, because I want to do storytelling videos where I just pull one main card from that deck and 3 cards from this one and tell a story that comes out of these cards, which I'm hoping I can do in December, but we'll see how much time I will have. And yeah, tag box, and I didn't do it the way Chris and other knowledgeable people showed how you actually put cards back in tag boxes. But yeah, that's all I have for this season, I think. I mean, 2 decks are coming, hopefully, please. But yeah, I don't think I will have more than that. But we'll see. Never say never, etc., etc. But yeah, look at that. It's just half an hour. I'm quite good. I'm quite proud of myself. So yeah, everything is probably gonna be listed down below. It's quite a long list, but yeah, I'm gonna try my best and type them out and list them down below. Let me know what's your favorite decks for winter. You know, which deck represents the season for you, especially if you don't live in the same hemisphere as I do, because then, you know, no, that's a stupid question because winter is winter, but I just meant the months, but then I realized I'm not organizing my decks in monthly, so whatever. What does winter mean to you? How is winter over where you live? Because not all winters are equal. Winter hopefully is coming, but we will see. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and see you in the next one. Bye.